Hello and welcome to another edition of Cue Ball's Cutting Corner. I am Cue Ball, and this is another unboxing. And I'm filming this the same night that I filmed my first ever unboxing. That one ran a little long, about 28 minutes, so hopefully this one won't be as long. However, I do plan on doing something in addition to the unboxing tonight in this particular edition. But we'll get right to it. First thing is first. So I already opened up these two guys, but I thought I would at least give a shout out to Lord Needham. Lord Needham, you are awesome. So the other day I was talking online about, in one of the live streams, about ordering some Slickamall from OCD for EDC. And Lord Needham reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, I got a thing of Slickamall. I will just send you." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Absolutely." So he reached out to me on Instagram, and he shared about my address, and I actually opened up this package earlier today when I got home from work. Not only did he send me the Slickamall, but he also sent me a full pack of these KPL swabs, and I think these are just like the ones that KPL sells. This one happened to have a Blades and EDC sticker from Blades and EDC, and I think maybe these are sold by Jamie and Blades and EDC. I don't know for sure. However, I wasn't expecting this to be a part of it. So thank you very much. And Lord Needham, I really, really appreciate it. Along with this, these two items actually came a number 8 Torx bit as well, which I thought was really, really cool. And I'm missing something else. I could have sworn he sent something else with this too. I can't remember. So my mistake. I should have waited to unbox his package for this video, but again, I'm not used to this yet, so I will get better. But thank you. I really appreciate these guys. All right, so let's move to the next box here. All right. So I also got this in the mail today, and this one comes from Orion EDC. Those of you who are not familiar with Orion EDC, David is the owner of Orion EDC, and this is his own company. He puts out his own knives and designs his own knives, and has his own website where you can go and purchase his knives. He's come out, I believe this is his third model. There's the Solaris, there's the Scorpio, and then this guy, which is actually, I already have one of these. Spoiler alert! So this is oh boy, why can't I remember this? It means whale, and it's based off of David names all of his knives off of constellations in the sky, which is really cool. Hence the Scorpio and the Solaris. And this one, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm forgetting the name of it. Well, anyways, we're going to unbox it, and then I'll take and it'll have the name in there. I just don't know why. I'm just drawing a blank at the moment. It's a long day at work, 12 hours today. So, all right. And let's see. Oh, there's a couple more spots here I got to cut. So we're going to use that. I know it means whale. That I do know. So, all right. And David always provides these really cool boxes. I love these boxes. The neat or the Orion belt here. That's his insignia. And you can actually see that on his knives as well. If you look at the blade, he's got his insignia right there at the base of the blade. So it's very unobtrusive. You know, not a lot of billboarding on his knives, which is great. You can see this one's in 14C28N. So really, really nice. Oh, the action on this knife is breaking in just phenomenal. Seriously, this is breaking in incredibly well. And so I actually ordered another one of these. And the reason being is that David had a 4th of July special. I think it was only running on Saturday. And basically, he has 4 versions of this knife. Now, this one is in the stainless steel with the aluminum show side, and then G10 on the accents here. And then there's one that comes in a blacked out version with green G10, so it's all black. And then there's 2 versions that come with blacked out and silver with, gosh, I can't remember the name of the wood, Mbula. You'll see in just a moment, because that is actually one of the versions I got, was one of the wood versions. So I can't get all 4 knives. I would like to, it'd be really cool, but I wanted to get one of the wood and one with the G10 to add to the collection. So I do own a Solaris, and I do own also a Scorpio. So this will be my 4th purchase from David and Orion Knives. And he packages these very, very well, which is great. So nothing else in the box, obviously. So I'm going to get this set aside. I will reuse that box at some point in time, or maybe I'll just hold on to it. So cool. All right, so we'll put the one that I already have here, and let's open the box. Really neat box design. It's just got the silver, neat texture. It's that it almost looks like a suit material. And then on the side here, invest in your lifestyle. So that is his phrase, or invest in your lifestyle. Interesting. It says it on that side as well. And then, of course, it gives the website here to orionknives.com. Cool. All right, so let's read. Thank you for your support of Orion Knives. We will continue to strive to produce a product our family can be proud of. Limited lifetime warranty. That's cool. On the other side, nothing. That's all right. I will keep this with the box. Ooh, and then we have another pack of silica gel. Woohoo! All right. Then we get to the knife. Nice. Oh, and there is an extra pocket clip. Now, there are 2 different pocket clips. I believe one works for right-hand carry and the other one works for left-hand carry. I don't really see much of a difference. I don't know. Maybe it's just the styling of the clip. I don't know. So it looks like this one's got more of a matte finish, and this one's got more of a, this also looks a little bit wider, this one, than this guy. I'll have to take and research that. I noticed that with the other one too. And this is called the Cetus. Gosh, Cetus. There, it just came to me. This is the Orion Knives Cetus. I'm horrible. Anyways, but the Cetus, again, stands for whale. So that is actually constellation that's up in the sky. So Cetus. And this, oh, wow. Look at that wood. It's got a lot more depth in person than it does on camera. I can tell already on camera that it's appearing a lighter color than it actually is. It's got more of a reddish hue. I'll have to see if I can calibrate my camera a little bit better, because you don't see that reddish hue like I do in the light here. And then the other side, again, it's just appearing a lot more yellowish and lighter than it is in real time here in person. But as you can see, it's got the blacked out aluminum scale on the show side. On this side is a steel, I want to say it's a steel liner lock. However, it almost works as a bolster lock because of the overlay here. Now, there's a couple things to note on the when you take these apart. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap here that's created by this slot that is in between the scale and the wood, and that houses the pocket clip if you decide to reverse this to left-hand carry. And when you screw down the wood, if you take this apart, you got to be really careful not to to over tighten it, because it can crack the wood. Obviously, you don't want to do that. So, yeah, the wood gives it definitely a different feel. Although the G10 on this version is actually fairly smooth. So, but if you're probably wondering, well, why did you get 2? Well, one was because I wanted to see the wood version, and compare it to the G10. The other reason is because I'm on a murdered out knife kick, and I want to make this one a murdered out knife. So I'm going to actually take these scales off of this one and put it onto this one, and vice versa. So, but the Cetus is a really cool design because you have this awesome sheep foot style blade. with really a straight edge all the way across. It does slightly come up towards the end here, just slightly, but very utilitarian. And the handle on this is so comfortable. I mean, it's very, very comfortable. I, I can't express how well this actually fits in the hand. He really did a good job designing this handle, even though it's more of a, it's not a tall, it's a very slim profile this way. It does have some girth. There's some width to it. These handle scales really give this knife some width. So it feels substantial in the hand. It feels really good. Action on this, not quite as drop shutty as the one that I've already taken apart and done the cue ball magic to. This one is very smooth. And again, no blade play whatsoever on this. I mean, it's locked up really, really well. And I'm assuming that there's probably going to be no blade play on this guy too. So, yeah, that's done very, very well. No up and down, no vertical. Nope, we're good. Very easy to unlock. So getting into here, the access to the lock bar is really, really, really. There's a lot of oil on here. Need to clean this one out. But good access to the lock bar. The lock bar is not too stiff, so it makes it very comfortable to get in there and to disengage that blade. So yeah, this is gonna. I can already tell that after I clean this and again work my cue ball magic on this knife, it's going to be just as good as the other one. So what I'm actually going to do is just right now, since I am here on camera, I know I don't want this to be as long as 28 minutes like my last video, but I'm going to go ahead and swap these scales and see how it looks. I don't think I need. Do I need a T6 too? I do. So I'm going to need both of these. All right. This shouldn't be too hard. I don't think. Let's go ahead and take the scales off of this guy first. Now I know the pivot on this guy is a T8. So let's go ahead and remove that. I really like this this pry tool because it does have these bits that are housed within the pry tool itself. It's really a neat design. It does make for a pretty weighty pry tool, but I usually carry this guy in a pouch. Let's not lose the screws, Chris. Okay, so that one, and I think I can swap these without having to remove the pivot itself. Pretty sure, maybe. I don't know. We'll check and see here in a second. Okay, now I need to 6. What's nice is that both these knives have black hardware, so I don't really have to worry about that. Oops. Okay. With T6s, you have to be very careful that you don't strip them. Make sure that you are fully in the slot before you try to spin it, otherwise, or turn the screw. Otherwise, you might strip it, especially if there's thread locker that's been used. So, okay. All right, that was pretty easy. So there's one down. Might as well give that a little bit of a wipe. So I did oil this after I cleaned it the first time, but it looks like some oil's leaked through. That's all right. Let's go ahead and clean this one off as well. For those of you who are kind of apprehensive or a little bit intimidated by taking apart a knife, it's really not that bad. Just got to take it slow. Don't go be in a hurry. Don't be in a rush to get it done, and take your time, especially if you're not experienced at it. And keep track of the parts. What order did you take the screws off? If you can, put them back in the exact same locations as you can. Of course, if it's the same type of screw, like in this case, I think this one was on bottom, that was on top. So that'll be basically end of the knife and then in towards the pivot. But it seems like the knives go back together better if you can kind of keep an eye on where the screws came from. So let's move back to the T8. This one, it feels like there's a little bit of thread locker on this one. I think there was on the other one too, just not much, just a little bit. All right, so that one we're good. And okay, so let's go ahead and put this guy back. I always put the pivot on there first. I don't know. I've had bad luck with just the blade or the pivot falling out, and then I have to. I already got the T8 in here anyway, so I might as well put the pivot in there first for changing out the bit. There's something therapeutic about taking apart a knife and cleaning it, getting all the gunk and oil and everything that comes from the manufacturer, and just getting it nice and clean, and then putting it back together, lubing it where you want to, putting just the right amount of lubrication, to get it to right where you want it to be. I don't want to cross thread these, so I'm gotta be careful here. There we go. And with T6s, you don't want to over tighten, especially with this wood. You definitely don't want to over tighten with the wood. So being really careful here. And back here, I'm going to be very, very careful because I do not, I think I'm in the hole, am I? Nope, there we go. I do not want to take and crack that wood. So only takes a couple spins or turns of the screw bit to get these down. Yeah, any more than that, and I'm afraid I'm going to take and crack it. So, okay, I think we're good to go. You can already see that that's already a little too tight. Don't split it, Chris. Don't split it. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good to go. All right. Yep, we're good to go. I might actually add a little bit of thread locker to the side just to ensure that those screws don't back out, because you can't tighten these down all the way. It's going to split that wood, so I think this one can go a little bit tighter. Okay. All right. So I think that looks fantastic. And of course, there is a version that sells like this. I don't know though if it comes with the blacked out hardware or if it comes with silver hardware. But I kind of like this blacked out look. This is really neat. Kind of gives it a neat appearance. Nice contrast between the black and the silver, and then the brownish orange, reddish orange of the wood. Of course, on the camera, you're seeing kind of a yellowish, maybe a little bit of red now. You can see there, but it's really, really pretty. It's neat. I like it. So I'm just curious, what is this going to look like murdered out? Of course, I am not taking this one fully apart yet. I'll do that later off camera. I just want to see what this is going to look like murdered out. I can already tell. Oh, some cat hair. My little guy. He was giving me a hard time. I was just trying to start videoing or shooting tonight. He just wanted to come up on the mat here with me and hang out. And I'm trying to train him not to come up on the dining room table, which is where I film. And he just would not listen. So my roommate actually had a water bottle that she had left over from when she had her cat. And so she brought it out tonight. and guess what? Probably 5 or 6 times of him jumping up and getting squirted. And with the word down, he finally got the hint. So I will train him. He will learn not to jump up on the table. Okay, that looks good. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Woo! Murdered out. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's change the bit again. Let's put in this pivot. Okay. Again, just take your time. Nothing hard. It's just dismantle and reassemble, right? So, okay, I'm not going to take and tighten the pivot too tight. Wow, look at that. Woo! I love it. See, doesn't that look amazing murdered out? That's such a cool looking knife. Almost kind of looks cool the way it is here. I guess, I could just keep it, yin yang. So I got the yin yang knives going on here. Boy, those look really, really cool together. That's awesome. Oops, don't take and chip the blade, Chris. Yeah, those are neat. But I'm going to try. I think I can take off this side too without too much hassle. Or maybe I have to take the full pivot out. I don't know. We're going to try it here and see. I'm hoping not, because it just makes it easier to swap scales when you don't have to take the whole freaking pivot out. Oh yeah, look at that. That's going to work. See what I'm saying? There is a little bit of Loctite on this, although this is not a very strong Loctite, thank goodness. Had it been hard to unscrew, I would have grabbed my soldering iron and just held it onto the screw to help melt some of that. Unfortunately, I do have to take the pocket clip out. And these don't have to be loosened too much because they don't go in that far. Okay. One more. And make sure with the T6 that you get it all the way in there. Don't want to strip these out. Okay, that was pretty easy. Sweet. Okay, and so it's silver. Yeah, obviously I'm going to take and keep the black pocket clip because it's going for that murdered out look. Right. Go over there. And I need to take apart this guy now. I'll try to keep track of the screws here. Doing this on camera is it's a new experience for me. So I have a lot of respect for other influencers and channels that have been doing this for a while. I mean, I do have a lot of experience taking apart knives, thank goodness. I'm not afraid to do that anymore. And yes, I have messed up a couple knives that I have yet to put back together. But yeah, these ones are actually pretty easy, so not too bad. Okay, that one goes there. Now the pivot. And this one's going to come out very easy because I've already taken this knife apart. And there's the pivot for that guy. Right. Okay, so set that aside. Let's get the murdered out one back together first. And this is going to come apart again at some point in time. I'm going to give it a nice cue ball cleaning and work my magic. Sorry, I'm rambling right now. It's the other thing that's interesting about doing these videos. You're talking to yourself, basically. I mean, I'm talking to you, and eventually, as if you are watching this live, but it's not live, right? So it's a little bit different. I'll be honest, the first couple of videos was a little uncomfortable, and I said and a lot more than I do now. And I think it's just, something that you have to work through. You get better at it. Over time, you feel more and more comfortable, just like anything in life, right? So this was a really easy disassembly and reassembly, thank goodness. Oops. One thing about this driver, though, is it's not magnetic. So when we're dealing with steel hardware, it's so nice when you have something that's magnetic. But still not too bad to do this one. Okay. One more. And I still have a little bit of a gap here, but again, I don't want to over tighten this guy. It's enough to snug. I have a tendency of over tightening T6s, and I have stripped a number of screws over the last few years. Yeah, have a heavy hand sometimes. So, all right, there she blows. Ha ha ha. Get it? Whale, Cetus. Yeah. Anyways, that looks pretty sexy if you don't ask me, or if you ask me. Yeah, this is going to break in nice. That is really cool. Look, I like that. It looked good with the wood, but with the contrast. But I just like this G10, and I love the blacked out look of this knife. So if you get a chance, get online. The G10 versions of this knife are $65, and then the wood version are $75. Obviously, the wood is considered to be more of a premium material, and this is a pretty wood. And if you oil this, it's really going to take and come out. Actually, you can see with the oil on the other side how beautiful this wood becomes. So I am going to give this a little bit of moisture, and it should bring out some of the depth of the wood and the color should take and liven that up a bit. So I'm not going to take and put the other one together on camera. No point. I was really just hoping to get this one murdered out. I almost wish that there was a murdered out backspacer for this one as well. Maybe David will come out eventually with a different color backspacer options. Who knows? So, but the Cetus, it's a really cool knife. If you get a chance, check out orionknives.com and yeah, give David a try. He's got some really neat designs in the Solaris and the Scorpio and now the Cetus, and he's awesome with customer service. He's a super nice guy. He also has a channel on YouTube called Blade Banter. So if you get a chance, go subscribe. I encourage you to subscribe to Blade Banter. And sometimes David also has live streams and say hello, hop on and say, hey, Dave, I got one of your knives. And it's really cool. All right, that's it. Didn't quite hit 28 minutes on this one. Close. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and disassembly and reassembly. And there's our finished product. Woohoo! I love it. I'm going to carry this guy tomorrow. All right. Until next time, have a wonderful evening and God bless.